Welcome back, guys. Part 5 of the chest on chest. Let's get to it. Alright, guys, so my first step in this whole project, believe it or not, is going to be to saw my drawer fronts. And the reason why I want to do that is because I want to make sure that I get my best wood for my fronts. And also, if I need to make an adjustment to my opening, which I'm really getting really close with this, that 9.5, I might scooch it in a little bit so that I come out all right, because I knew I was going to be pushing that 9.5 mark. So if it's like 9 7/16, nobody's going to know the difference, and I'll make that 8.5 a 16th inch bigger. You'll never see it. So always you got to think about these things, and the only thing I can tell you is experience is the teacher. So I've got to have a 5/16 inch drawer front, and the reason I want that is because I'm going to instead of half blinding, because I want to try to match these drawer fronts sequentially up as many as I can. So I'm going to have to the match, to the match, to the match, and so on and so forth. And actually my top ones, they may be able to be cut out of the same board because of the distance between them. So anyway, when I cut the half blinds in here, and I put the 5/16 inch on, then what happens is I won't cut so far into my dovetail, and it still looks really good. If I did a 1/4 inch front on an inset and I'm cutting into it, it gets so far into your dovetail, and the dovetails don't look as good. So that's the reason for that. So I'm going to resaw these, and what I'm going to do, just because it speeds the process up so much, is I'm just going to rip these down the middle, and with my table saw, just raising it up as far as I can. Then I'll take it over to my bandsaw and cut it the rest of the way through. And that's the way I resaw back panels and all that stuff, because just sitting there on a bandsaw just takes so long. Now, if I was doing drawer fronts at an 8/4 and I was trying to keep that 3/8 inch to get down to my 5/16, then I would cut them all on the bandsaw to match the fronts. But when it's just sort of utilitarian, I'm just going to jam through it. All right, hopefully that makes sense. Alright, guys, so I got my drawer fronts, and this is going to be one of my bottoms. What I'm doing now is I'm looking at my drawer dividers here. I think on the fronts I need 39.5, so I've got some extra length on this. But what you want to do is, and I got this from Charles Neal, I learned this from him, is that you want to try to get your, if you can look at this, the angle going the same way. He calls it how it's raining down. Alright, so what I'm doing here is I'm trying to get my best figure again, and I want it all going up this way. So one way I'm going to accomplish this is this board is going to give me 7 front dividers. I need 11, so I'm going to have to find me another board over there, and I'm going to be looking for that same angle going up that direction. Now it'll be kind of herringboned at the top. It'll be going the opposite direction, but I kind of like it going up from the bottom. So every one up from the bottom, it'll have that raining down the same direction. So let's go cut these, and I'm going to cut them at 1 inch, and then glue a piece of hard maple to it. And I'm going to make sure that I label the ends with the side I need going forward, so I don't get confused, because this is a lot of stuff to try to remember. Alright, let's do it. Okay, so these are the ones that we picked out for our case sides, and what I'm going to do here is these are going to match all the way up the top. I mean, obviously one will be offset from the other and a little bit skinnier, but I'm just going to pick a spot and cut these at the length I need, and then get these glued up. And if you notice, I've left stuff thick for a reason. Is working with wide panels, I'm going to really flatten these, mostly on the drum sander. I'll probably take my pieces once I get them cut down here, and I'll join them one time and just skim them to make sure I can get them pretty flat. But I want to make sure I can try to keep as much thickness as possible. So I want to get that 7/8 side. So that's the way I do it. I just use my drum sander. All right, so now we're gonna make some cuts and make our armpits sweat. Alright guys, thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed. Make sure you like and subscribe, and we'll see you next week.